Like you can't just call me and say, Acha, I need bridal 27th April. What your rate? People do communicate like this. You do celebrity managers. So I don't like that. So for me, it's like, leave it. Treat me like you would a woman when you're going out on a date with, really have to impress in some way. In a bridal setting, for instance, you're almost a therapist. See them without any of their mask or gear on, and then you're putting them on this. Now you're packaged and presented as the man of the match in the moment, So how do you bridge that gap? And it's often up to the HMU.
Tell the name of the product and you tell me the brand.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start with primer. Foundation.
Interesting. Concealer.
What about eyebrow pencil? Hi guys, today we have Elton Fernandez with us. He is the OG when it comes to makeup and beauty. He is a celebrated artist. He's probably worked on the biggest shows that you've heard of. And if there's ever been a look that you've liked, it's probably by him. Today, I'm really excited to speak to him on this podcast. So thank you so much for coming. So, Elton, tell us, how did your journey in beauty and makeup begin?
I used to paint as a hobby on canvas, and I met a makeup artist friend Sachin Dakoji in Hyderabad at another friend's house, and we were all hanging, and we happened to exchange notes on, you do make a hair and makeup, I do canvas painting. He's like, it's just like painting a canvas, but the canvas stops back. So why don't you give it a try? And so he picked our friend and he said, okay, I'm going to do half of her face, and why don't you finish the other half?
Interesting.
Just as an activity. And it happened. I said, I'll give you like an 8 on 10. And for me, that was a big compliment. And it kind of just sucked me right in. So from a hobby, it became like a vocation, And one thing just led to another. And when I moved from Hyderabad to Bombay, I took it up full time.
Interesting. What makes you do or pick a certain look or a certain fantasy, Apati?
I like to think that I want to, at the end of the day, feel like I'm the author of my own kind of journey, and that I've not been forced to do anything or work with anybody that I haven't particularly, felt an interest in. So, and of course, that's taken me time to reach to this point. We all struggle with the same journey in the beginning. But so I like to think that even if I'm not planned a look, which I sometimes happens with celebrity, if it's not an event or you're just something freeballing it as you go, I don't necessarily always construct a plan. I might have references and a mood that I want to indicate, but I like to choose who I work with and how much control I have over the expression of this vision and story that we want to tell.
Okay, so tell me, what is the most important thing when you decide that, okay, this is a person or this is a brand that I want to work with or not? What is the decision maker for you?
One is the tone in which I've been approached. I'm very sensitive to tone. And if someone is trying to speak to me like I'm not worthy of their patient response, or their respect, or their acknowledgement of my contribution to whatever it may be, whether it's my craft or the industry or their platforms, then I immediately will just not feel motivated. So also with celebrities and their manager. So I've had a lot of people think I'm hectic because I don't respond well to being spoken to as if I've got no agency over myself. Like, like you can't just call me and say, Acha, I need bridal 27th April. Or your rate. People do communicate like this. He was celebrity manager. So I don't like that. So for me, it's like, leave it. Treat me like you would a woman when you're going out on a date with, really into impress and so.
True. Now tell us, how important is the quality of skin and hair when you do makeup?
As much as I appreciate as an artist a clean blank canvas that is well primed from the onset, I'm still very happy to even prime it myself. Were it to appear harsh, in whatever capacity. Because a lot of the time, the makeup is not just, you're not just priming, you're not just putting some superficial paint and layers on top of the canvas, but you're also working the insights and changing the approach of how they see themselves. In a bridal setting, for instance, you're almost a therapist, because you see them without any of their mask or gear on, and then you're putting them on this. It's almost like you're packaged and presented as the man of the match in the moment. So how do you bridge that gap? And it's often up to the HMU.
No. A lot of people think that makeup causes an obscures. What are your thoughts?
I'm no scientist, so I'm no skin specialist either. But from what I understand, that if you can put whatever you can on your face, but when you're resting and your skin is breathing, and that's when your skin needs to be clean. So you do need to invest in the aftercare and the removal of all of that, and put back the nourishment in your skin that you've perhaps stripped off. So that's what I believe in, and that's what I do. Ultimately, all products, they say, at least some people say, that most of it penetrates the skin and enters your bloodstream. So I don't know, 12 hours of on set, sometimes 20 hours on sets. If someone's wearing a face full of makeup, after a 20-year career in films, perhaps, how is her skin still looking nice though? You know what I mean? So there's some give and take here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are some non-negotiables for you in skin prep? Like before you start applying makeup?
I can work with whatever. Anybody can work with whatever. Like even if most people don't have a skincare routine, because if you're in a city like Bombay, you just be chip and you want to feel coverage, and you're going with post-shower hair in the rickshaw or whatever. All you have is your one product, which is like a compact cake, and you just take and swipe with a puffer. You think that's it, right? But there's no hydration, nothing before it. So people make it work, and we can. But if you had the time and the access to resources, then I like for my brush, the bristles of my brush or my sponge or my fingers to kind of slide off of slippery skin. Like, the difference of when your skin has come out of a spa, your skin when it comes out of a hot shower, your skin post a nice love-making session. It's like that's what you want, plumpness, freshness, like a bounce back feeling, right? So I like creating that feeling on my canvas before I start to paint it. But it's not a necessity.
Okay. And do you believe that the health of the scalp and skin reflects in how makeup can actually stay?
Yes and no. Again, say for example, hair. As a stylist in the business, I can tell you this, that really, and a lot of women, including my sister, used to have very silky, smooth hair. So everybody in the street or in your periphery will look at it and even tell you and alert you to, wow, you beautiful hair. Well, that's going to be a bitch to style. So as a stylist, a little dirt goes a long way. So I always tell brides and things, don't wash your hair the same day. Wash it the day prior, not even the night prior. Don't put any conditioner. If you're traveling by taxi or something, let the window down so you have some city grime in it. It holds better because there is some kind of pre-product in the hair. So for a shoot, does it matter? It doesn't. You can come with a hair full of hairspray, and I know how to make it soft and rework it and give it a new shape and a memory, because it's temporary. But for your long-term goals, what's better? Those are different. It's a different approach.
So you've been working with a lot of
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, I don't like to... like if I get into this AC environment for myself, which I did in between for like 9 years, car driver, AC, this and that. Yeah, sure, it improves care. But that's not the life for everybody. So this approach is not...
it's not for
it's not going to apply the same way.
True, exactly. So like, for people who live a normal life in India, most youngsters, they take public transport, they go out, they don't have access to AC, or fancy house, they're driving. Do you have any particular DIYs that you swear by for Metaski?
Peace of mind, peace of heart. Give yourself the time to do nothing, to indulge in yourself in a way of, whether it is putting your own uptan, mixing your own flour with water and putting it on your face whenever, making a face pack, doing little things for oneself. Because I find that it translates into the way you not just treat yourself, it translates into the way you treat other people, and then feedback that you get from them also reduces your amount of trauma as interaction, right? Because you also have a system and a machinery that you can delegate life tasks to that uh, share the burden of the one of some responsibilities. So the Aam Aadmi is never going to be free of we. It's tough because you got rent to pay and bread to put on your table and whatever it may be.
True. Okay, so this is fear that you don't believe in like the DIYs.
But yeah, all of the superficial approaches are not for me, you say. I see value in them for some certain people because so many different types of experiences. I'm sure there are things that I will never find a common ground with. But they must work for someone.
Yeah.
Right.
But what about the products? Are there any particular products I really love and you think that, oh my God, this formulation is insane?
I do like aloe. I have a lot of aloe at home. I like
You have
aloe plants. And they grow so like rabbits, So you always have a surplus. But I like aloe vera and I like what is that flower that we use? Basil. Yellow.
Jello, yeah, chickpea.
So I mix all of those things and things. Fruit peels I know are very good. That's how our celebrities do this, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, after eating a fruit, like whatever fruit it may be, they have the luxury of taking the fruit and Rabo le lo. Man in home we akat.
Facebook to me.
Oh, because you're already going to sell on this.
Okay, suppose these writers are constantly under lights. Days are very hectic. Are there any particular things that they follow so that it doesn't damage their skin or hair? Mostly.
I'd say if you're going through so much of a routine of cosmetics on, cosmetics off, you have to put more care into it because you're stripping your skin that much, so much more exposure to lights and things. I know that there's a lot of skincare in terms of serums. There's something therapeutic about the application of serum, right? The viscosity of it or whatever. The way you can, feel the suppleness of your skin with the serum is different than how you would feel it with the foundation, right? So I know they love serums. Lotions are great for people with oily skin, you want something light. But the younger generation, I would say, have realized the benefit of using primers, and as artists, professional artists who need longevity for their work and less upkeep through the day, constant touch-ups, I see the benefit of primers because there is some sort of an adhesive-like quality to it that keeps makeup lashed on longer and therefore moving around less.
True. You being a makeup artist, I'm sure you've tried a lot of brands. According to you, is expensive makeup always better? And what should people really invest in?
I like a brand that has stood the test of time because one, it speaks to me of a brand ethic. And if there is one and how it's, what is it at its center after facing time and use of its product over a larger customer base experience. But I don't necessarily believe that expensive things are better than inexpensive things because a lot of brands make cosmetics or products, beauty products, and they're made on the same kind of luggage belt, if it as you know. Yeah. And they get branded and packaged differently. So whether you are somebody from the elite or a premium or a Zara and H&M kind of space, or you are even at a local vendor in a sachet 2 rupee pouch, whatever strata of society you come from, ultimately your money is going to pretty much Masi.
This is very true. And not many people know about it, that most of the products are made in the same factory. They're just packaged differently. A lot of times the entire formulation is also the same. Is brands don't really know it. a lot of brands care. And then most of the ingredients are the same. Some brands, obviously, they would have chosen a more expensive ingredient. That's
बेसिकली इनका जैसे भी बैंक अकाउंट है, यदि ऊपर नीचे 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 जाए ऊपर जाए, हमारे को ही आना चाहिए सारे पैसे. So it's like let's make products for everybody, packages.
so now tell us, which is the most value for money maker brand that people in India can look for? Because a lot of black people are watching this. A lot of women, at the age of 30, 35 are watching this. They don't know how to use makeup. I need two products they have, is an eyeliner and a lip gloss or a lipstick. But they want to do makeup, but they don't want to invest in like a 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 rupee.
Fair. So not speaking to artists, but to an everyman
Exact.
in our country, I would say. I honestly recently got out of working on Fashion Week, as you know, Lakme Fashion Week, and I had never used their products too much before. I did use a liner, mascara, basic things that my mom might have, introduced me to as a child. But nothing other than that. But because it was Lakme Fashion Week, they gave me the spread and I used it. And I must say that it's super affordable. It does the job. It might not be packaged in a a beautiful glass or a nice cute little pump or anything, but it's functional, does the job, and it's value for money. And it's a local Indian brand. So I feel a way about that because I have been ambassador for another international global brand for 9 years. And I saw value in that too, and that relationship and the products. However, there's a way I feel about at some point the white man came to us and told us how to do things. But today we know better. So I feel strongly about paying more attention and holding more space for things that are of my people, by my people, and for my people.
How nice. And for people who can afford it too.
Yeah, even better, right? If it's affordable.
Yeah. So for somebody who can afford anything, the person is ready to splurge. Even then in that category, there are a lot of brands. Which one is your favorite? And which one do you think?
So if you're speaking to professional artists, then I would go there.
No, not a professional artist.
Okay,
Like,
generic. Okay, every man use, but something that I found great might be too unaffordable, frankly.
Yeah, exactly. That's okay.
It's an Asian brand called Sulwahasu.
Oh, yeah. Really?
I don't know. It's not about that. It's not like I paid attention to how my skin behaved after, but I enjoyed the packaging. I enjoyed literally the color, that orange with the gold, or the typography. I mean, it's just silly how these things make a difference. It was the way the staff at the airport even addressed my needs, or it was not a hard sell. It was a nice approach. It was a lot of take these free things, expensive little mini vials, so they draw you in. And it's a 5-step routine, and every product is packaged differently. It's not the same generic bottle that comes out of a factory, which probably is cheaper and nicer for the supplier. But and I like different textures. Just so, and I'm someone that really responds well to different textures. So I like that experience.
Great. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that with us. Now, what's the most common mistake people make when it comes to doing makeup at home, especially Rinky?
I'm not for this one swipe of a puff on a compact powder and then apply straight, because I know it suits the woman that wants a quick job done in a movie vehicle with no time or patience. But to me, it looks like a drywall. When it's cracked and there's no hydration, and that's how it sits. And over the length of day, that's exactly how it wears. So it cracks and pieces, and then you have to keep putting more and more, and it builds up, and it's frightening to me. So because you lose the softness of your nature. And then the second thing I'd say is putting mascara once, and then through the day touching up with these compact powders or loose powders, and not realizing that your lashes have got all of this powder. And you may put mascara again last from here, but all the powder, every time you blink, is visible to everyone that's talking to you. And it's like a coat of powder on top, and it's just unsightly.
Now, according to you, is primer overhyped? Or
No, I like it. Also because I come from this humid city.
Yeah.
You know?
does it really make a difference?
Yes. You've lived in Gujarat and America. Doesn't your makeup behave differently? The same damn concealer.
I already look at my makeup once I have a primer.
So Bombay is not Bombay, Chennai, any coastal town that's humid. We're not. It's not a makeup friendly city. I'm not wearing anything today. I just filled in my brows. And there's a lip balm. That's it. Not even a dot of concealer, as it can't be bothered in this heat because it's not going to wear well. It may look nice when I leave home, but so the lesser the better.
Yeah. One celebrity skin prep tip that works on everyone, regardless of budget.
Have a little bit of some sort of a cream that's not going to cause pilling, which is like when you have a dane dane jab nikalte hai, after you put foundation over some skincare, dana it starts
Yes,
called pilly. Like when your woolen sweater, when you put it in the laundry and it's out and it starts to pill on the surface and you have to pull out all this feces. So that happens when you don't understand the science and the uh, chemical reactions between products and ingredients, right? So I would say pick a cream that doesn't have a lot of silicone or anything in it. So that kind of not a gel, but a cream. Because when your skin is dry also, and even if you're using foundation, you can put a little bit of cream on the back of your hand, mix it with whatever foundation, concealer, thick, thin, like a bit heavy, and then apply that. It'll give you a lighter application, but also with the job of kind of creating a canvas where things spread out evenly and providing that kind of hydration through the emollient in your product for longer periods of time to the day. So I like that. And with that, as a cosmetic tip, I would say to take a stain, a lip, cheek, eye stain, any stain, like it's like taking beetroot.
Yeah.
Pigment, you get these pigments. So you take that liquid and you mix that with those three or by itself. And before your foundation, concealer, anything else, you mix them and you put it on your cheeks. So you take like that mountain-like skin, which was my staple USP for Aditi Rahayadri, it's like, oh, she'd always cry. It's looking. So it's like, think of yourself as going into the mountain air and you're cold and your nose is a little leaky. So you do this. And that creates a little bit of redness. That's what you're doing with the product. So you take it, you pinch your cheek upwards a little bit. A little bit here. And I take a little bit from my skin and I just rub it like this. All the way out. Rub it like this. No. That's it. And then go with a little bit of concealer just where you need. You don't have to put anything anywhere over here. So it reduces the need for all of this. As you're adding character.
Actually.
Yeah, it looks
Life. You look so innocent.
Yeah.
Like, from the
Oh, spa skin. It's like really love making skin. It's causing blood rush. There's some sort of emotive skin happening.
Amazing. So you're saying that you did cheese beetroot powder?
Well, you can take a beetroot piece if you don't have the product.
Yeah.
Anything that stains the skin.
Interesting. Okay. So now, we're always struggling with this question that we get at Skin Yoga is, what do we use underneath our makeup? We don't make moisturizer, as we're completely natural. It's not possible for us. But we also want to help that.
Aloe gel?
Yeah. You could use aloe gel as a moisturizer under your makeup. That's amazing.
You take the aloe gel with your foundation, concealer, and just rub it together.
Oh, interesting. And do you think that the quality of your scalp affects the styling or how your hair holds out, or the product can take care of it?
So really a clean scalp and clean hair will allow for less usage of product and more usage of heat because it doesn't hold well. Very healthy hair will resist being retrained. So hair that has been colored, tried, treated, gone through abuse is easier to tame and teach a new lesson. Isn't that?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Okay.
And I would say, I don't know if this is scientifically true, but it makes sense to me as an individual. So I speak for myself and certain people that I've shared this with. But hair and makeup, healthy hair, has a lot with, it shows how much you invest in your inner working is also. So it's like, it was quite fascinating.
It is.
Someone says, I see me.
I've never.
But then, but then of course you can think from different people's perspective and it would shift a bit, right? But yeah, it's something to ponder over.
I've seen you work, and I think this is one quality in you which is so rare that you would really make the artist feel so comfortable and so positive in that moment, regardless of what.
For the most part, no, I'd had really awful experiences in life where so even with different kinds of people, brides, celebrities, whatever. And where it doesn't go well at all. And the bridge burns.
But you try.
But you learn from it. And it's an experience. And if you forgive yourself, you forgive and forget the other person as well. So
Okay, my next question. In India, a lot of people are suffering from acne as pigmentation. These are the two biggest skin problems that, people go to derma, doesn't work. They take set longer treatments, doesn't work. They correct their food. But acne and pigmentation is something that really makes them very conscious of themselves, and they really look at makeup as a savior. What are few tips first for people with acne? How do they hide their active acne and the scars? And second, the pigmentation. What are the products they can use and what they can do using makeup so at least they can wow off?
I suffered with a lot of acne. Throughout my teenage years, I had cysts, pink spots all over. And I've even, I'm not ashamed to admit it, we've tried under the guidance of my parents from somebody that they had met and even urotherapy when I was younger. But in college, that is.
Didn't work.
I'd worked for this, but still cake. You're supposed to drink. Morarji Desai, one of our older leaders, had propagated this. And so that's where my experience came from. But you're supposed to drink that first urine. But for me, I never even like alcohol. I don't even drink beer. I don't like the taste of it. But urine is very much like beer. So all you guys that like beer, you're probably going to be into it. I'm not, So I could never consume, but I used to apply that first morning urine to your face. And in the first month, it got worse, but then it got better. So I don't know how that works. And also I was, 18, 19. I was desperate to get rid of these boils on my face. Everybody in my house would basically stay away from me for the first couple hours because they knew that I was sinking on my face. Which is gross, right? Who wants to be that? So as much as it might help, I don't know. I wouldn't want to put myself again through it. And then I've done the whole benzoyl peroxide and this and that creams and, nothing really keeps it up. It's more to do with your gut health. Now as a queer adult, I'm more in touch with that. But a weak digestive system, because of what you put in your body over years. I don't know if you've eaten a lot of chips throughout your childhood. What you eat in your 20s manifests itself in your 30s. What you've done to your body in its 30s manifests in your 40s. So it's like every 10 years you get up back that chota once, it's like you have to, reminds you of what to do.
Yeah. That reminds me of your gutter pani will become green. Or it'll probably become iricist. Because this, have to go to not be good damaged. Talk about urine.
If you have acne, you shouldn't really be using a product. That's what I think. Yeah. If you were a bride, sure, I'd cover, because that's just for photographs, for posterity. I'm just going to do an Instagram live. Such a bad. You're a human being with human skin. And anybody that's trying to make you feel worse about it is probably walking around with a Paris filter in their life. So it's not an important opinion to be heed to. But if you have active skin issues, I wouldn't really aim to cover it up on the daily as a habit, because you're not addressing the problem. You have to look at it in the face of what it is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's a great advice. And then work from inside out. Because layering it up with products is going to make it worse. So that more, someone kills you. So if it's a matter of one day of shame.
Yeah. And if it's all of the stress that your life is undergoing, at least balance the stress with something that is incredible for your body, which could be nutrition.
Absolutely. What about pigmentation?
Same with pigmentation, because I don't, I'd like to go back. I've never really looked it up on the internet, but I'd like to know if our great grandmothers had pigmentation at all. Because today it's a conversation of menopausal, premenopausal stuff that pigmentation starts to go. I see it a lot, even in actors in their 40s, later 40s, you start to see it. So it has something to do with menopause. But I think that's not a natural thing. It is, our lifestyles have been conditioned to now react in this way. So what is it? And how much control do we have over all of these systems that control us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot is to do with what we're putting on our skin, on it.
Throughout this IGs and 30s and 40s.
Like this serum is gonna make you better, this sunscreen is gonna make it better. You need sun.
And it's all entering your bloodstream.
Yeah, it's all, you're not letting the sun enter your bloodstream to cleanse and detox your skin because you're protecting it with the layers of zinc, minerals. That's not something that you want to do.
The big conversation to be had in the skincare commune as far as sunscreen is concerned.
Yes, yes. So, I mean, obviously, you've used sunscreen for 50 years, and now you're talking that, this not something that you want. Our grandparents didn't use sunscreen. They didn't face the problems that we are facing. We've already lost 50 years, but the doctors have been handed over a sunscreen and us to make it viral. But today we are all educated, and it's our right to understand and use our brains to understand what is good and what is not.
Yeah.
So I think people need to really get into that. You're right? Yeah. Okay. So, one celebrity whose skin is naturally flawless.
There's quite a few, Alia, Aditi, Chitrangada, full skin. Manisha Koirala, when I used to work with her, also just incredible skin. Juhi ji.
Okay. One budget product that beats luxury product hat star.
Kailash Jiban. It's a cream. Ayurvedic cream.
Oh, really?
You get it in the chemist. There are two versions.
Okay.
One is like a little Borosil toothpaste kind of a thing, and it comes with a little attachment, like a little tiny nozzle which you can put up your nose, up your bum, whatever it is, because it's meant for anywhere. Honestly, yeah, no, I'm not making it so. You can put it. It can be used in your private bits. It can be used on wounds, on cuts, chapped lips, eye styles, anywhere. And I swear by Kailash Jiva, you can even consume it. Comes in a bigger pot for 100 and something rupees, and the tube is like 47 or something. It's really cheap. I use it for dry lips, nose, pimples, anything.
Okay. If someone has 5 minutes before a shoot or meeting, what should they do first?
Curl your lashes. Because Indian hair is heavier and we have long lashes, less. And oftentimes they can droop because of the weight. So, and mascara looks great on Indian eyes. I feel like we should all be our own advertising campaign billboards because we have beautiful eyes. But curl them first, because that will make sure that this becomes this, and then your mascara can hold it in place there.
Right. That's true. You often blend education with creativity. What's the mindset you bring to every phase you work on?
I like to connect the inside and the outside. So, be it of the subject in my chair or me as the artist that's helping bring that, express that lab. So, it's to connect. So, what she sees herself as, what she wants to see herself as, and what she's used to seeing herself as, versus what I know I can bring to the table, what is my shift in lens that I want to apply. And how I can, through my words and my diction or articulate nature, whatever it is, I can express my idea convincingly and establish trust.
Interesting.
And prove it.
Yeah. What do you wish more people knew about confidence in self-worth that you've learned through the nets of beauty?
I think a lot of queer people will be able to resonate with what I'm saying. And women, if I had to pick the next rung of the ladder to absorb this information. But your traumas that you have filtered and resolved will make the biggest difference to your approach. So if you have not had any, you have not been to coping mechanism. And as we age, whether it be to our skin, to our partners, to our encounters, to our odd experiences, whatever it may be, is so much to do with how we can cope. You know, I've got a pigment itch. How can I cope with this? Can I address it as, oh God, what's this? I don't really give a shit, but let's try and find a fix or see how it behaves. Versus, oh my God, something's wrong. Well, something's wrong. My sense of self has dropped. I now believe that I'm aging and dying and becoming a crocodile. I don't know. And then my hair is starting to, and I have no self worth. So how do you cope? Um, and I so if stop being overprotective of yourself, whether it be your skin, whether it be learn to live freely, let loose, and enjoy the moment for what it is.
That's true, Elton. But
We only live for a short period of time, and usme they are worried about how we are perceived by other people. With no attention to how we want.
I understand that, but that's not real life.
Sure, why not though?
Why not though? That's a question that we need to ask. But it's very difficult for people, especially the younger age, to say that, I'm confident. I got a pimple, I don't care. Oh, my skin looks like this, I don't care. People in that age need acceptance, from the opposite sex or, the people that they fancy,
Or their families, yeah.
or the families or the friends, and when they don't get that, that's when they get this trauma in the first place, that they're building by themselves, but that's just the human need at that point. And I think makeup comes as rescue, for them to really feel that moment of joy in that moment. You know what I'm saying?
I think as long as a young person, you're allowed to express yourself in a way that is, that was hitherto unknown to you, right? So that's the act of rebelling as a teenager. You should be allowed to experience that rebellious journey. So not to be overprotective of that, because this is when nature has wired you to be able to expand yourself maximum, at this point of your life in your teens. So you should be allowed to make these mistakes. And as parents and all, if you are constantly telling your daughter, अरे इतने सारे pimples आ रहे कौन शादी करेगा यार कुछ ठीक कर ले इसके बारे में.
So according to you, it comes from, okay, give us.
How are you helping them cope? And what is their self-worth that you're instilling? I had these issues. My mother kept telling me, I had these issues. You are going to have it because it's genetic. We have bad skin where we are, but look at my skin now, and my bad skin now. And she said that you would be grateful for this, because I used to call my face, it's like an oil pan, I used to say. Because I could wipe my face and in 1 hour, it is again like a pan, so acne prone skin. But she used to tell me that you're going to be grateful when you grow up because you're going to age much slower than everybody else around you and you will remember me then. And it is true. I never believed it then, but in my teens I was covered, and now I look so much younger. I'm 43. I don't feel it. I don't look it. So oily skin has been a great help. Yeah. That coping mechanism. So you just need more people. If all of the people, the 20 people that you surround yourself on a daily basis with, only build you up from the ground and not break you down, that's great.
Absolutely. A lot of people, they want to take makeup as a profession.
Yes.
Right? Could you share, where to start? Where should they start? Like learning courses, like should they get a certificate? Should they do a professional course? Where should they even begin?
Different people, different approaches, but as a generic response, I would say it's always helpful to gather as much resources, educational or otherwise, to build your understanding of the industry, the craft, the zone that you're entering. So be it through books, be it through tutorials, be it through a school and a course, or most importantly, is fieldwork, right? So under the mentorship or the patronage or the guidance of somebody that has been doing this for a while. Because I tell my assistants, learn not just the good things about me, but also the bad things, so you develop a better approach.
Exactly.
Because I know I'm wired with a bit of a shorter temper, which is getting better with age. I'm controlling more, but I do have this rebellious streak in me. And so sometimes my approach may be a bit too reactive. And I may shoot my mouth a little stronger than what I intended to. So learn not to do that also.
So tell me one product, or like I'll tell the name of the product and you tell me the brand. That's the best for that.
Okay.
Okay. So let's start with primer.
Milk. I like the milk primer because it also comes with a setting spray that they work very well together.
Okay. A foundation.
I really like a lot of foundations. Not picking because I think it's the best, but because I like, for whatever reason, my associations are healthy with its Dior. I like their squeezy bottle backstage.
Interesting.
Because there's a color for me. 4N is my color. And I like that it is luxury in a squeezy that doesn't weigh a lot and doesn't become a mess in my toiletry skip when I'm traveling.
Interesting. Concealer.
Full coverage and light coverage. Let's give you full coverage. I'm enjoying using Hourglass and light. You're gonna find this very alarming, but I'm gonna say I like K by Cat. Liquid concealers are absolutely fantastic. I really like, and I have a color for.
Oh, interesting.
So I like it.
Okay. What about eyebrow pencil?
Anastasia Beverly Hair.
Highlighter.
Anastasia.
Really? I thought it's artwork.
No, Anastasia.
Okay. Blush.
One of my favorites. I love blush so much. But I would like to pick a stain format as opposed to a powder or whatever. Benefit has some really nice tones. Coral orange, pink, red, just beat. Yeah,
I see the beat. That's just a little. Contour.
Patrick Tar. What a fantastic. Contours need to have a cool shadow-like tone to it, not a warm, bronzy, sun-like tone.
Yeah, that's what I can give you.
Those are bronzers. Shadows need a slight.
Quantity kind of homely. Okay, lipsticks.
Lipsticks. Honestly, that's a favorite because they all make it. It's the simplest thing to make. I think it's all very not where.
Is it anything else that I'm forgetting? Me.
Mascara.
Yeah.
I used to like one. I don't know if they make it anymore by Givenchy, called Phenomena. Is it a burst to the star and the wand? I used to really like that application because I could just go.
Then done. Interesting. Okay, eyeshadow palette.
Pat McGrath.
Interesting. Wow. Anything else I've been to see?
Lots.
So but this is basic. I think if you have this, it can get narrowed. Okay. Setting spray.
Mild. Lashes.
Lashes.
Ardell.
Wow.
Ardell.
Oh, I've never used.
Ardell lashes are fantastic.
Oh dear.
Like different. They're not long and like old schools, like, like a witch. It's, you can pick. It's fantastic.
Thank you so much. Thank you, David, for sharing all your wonderful insights into OT and becoming a better human being, and even looking at makeup inside out, because this is exactly what our company needs to do.
Yeah, and if there's any generation, any people that can do it, it is going to be Gen Z and Gen Alpha.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching.